Hello and welcome back to the Tim Tom podcast. I am Tim. I'm joined here by Tom, as ever, and it's the second episode of 2020, and we're still on 2019 stuff because we're just clearing the decks because we got a bit caught up with that best of the decade or best of 2019, didn't we? It was a good year for music. It was, and we have three from last year, which came out right at the tail end, which we didn't really have time to cover.
There were a lot of festive releases.
Oh yeah, definitely. Nothing is more festive than a house album or a Jewish themed hip hop album.
Or your first grime album in 4 years.
Jeremy, yeah. So we'll be talking about the Free Nationals, followed by your Droog, followed by KAYTRANADA, and then Tom's going to talk a bit about JME, and then we'll do some singles. So without further ado, let's get stuck into Free Nationals by the Free Nationals, their self-titled debut album, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
They are the band which supports Anderson .Paak, is Anderson .Paak and the Free Nationals, and this is a really refreshing collection of summary tracks with a nice mix of funk and synth funk and pop.
Just in time for December.
Just in time for December, yeah. No idea why they released it now. Because they were dropping singles right the way back in the summer. I'm pretty sure. I guess it was just
Beauty and Essex came out in 2018. Yeah,
so who knows? Who knows why they decided to drop it in December? I'm sure they had their reasons. It's more a collection of songs rather than any kind of a concept album. I think you'd agree with that, Tom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's every single song has a different feature because obviously the band is an instrumental band and not like it's not just like a bunch of funky instrumentals.
I think there's at least one just instrumental track.
Yeah. But for the most part, there's a different feature on every single track, which provides a different voice, a different kind of viewpoint, different style, and with some of the tracks being kind of like hip hop, the closer definitely being that, and some of them being more funky, and then kind of in the same. The Free Nationals work to complement the style of the feature I found on it. Particularly with each track having a unique flavour. Like Beauty and Essex sounds like it could have come off of Case Study 1. Shibuya is another highlight, being so bright and playfully seductive, and it works with Sid, who's on it. It kicks off with this track called Obituaries, featuring Shafiq Hussein from The Loop, which was a really big kind of neo-funk, neo-soul album that dropped last year. Which you got on vinyl, didn't you, Tom?
I don't have it yet. I need to find it. I can't find it anywhere.
It's a big album. The guy's like
instrumental isn't what I expected. It's got a fat beat.
Yeah, man.
And
it's really cool.
Talks his shit, and then it sort of just breaks down.
And it's pretty weird. If I'm being fair, it's almost a bit psychedelic for a funk track, which is always welcome. Kind of fits that Shafiq Hussein vibe. He's a bit like that kind of. He strikes you as a bit of a kind of a street preacher character. So it works with that. I want to talk about there's two songs which are really really good. I really like Apartment. I think it's a joint favorite on it, and it's mostly because of the delightfully smooth vocals from Benny Sings. He sounds like Bill Withers on it. I thought it was really good. I love that the little pre-chorus part, like everything, having an apartment that everything for a single man, something like that. It's really cool. Yeah, exactly. And it's very cool. It's really summery, and Gidget is probably the most fun track with this like really kind of silly solo, these vocal effects. Kind of sounds like an organ. And
it's essentially a disco song.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a bit of a pastiche, the project. I mean, it makes sense with the Free Nationals being this neo funk band, and yeah, it's awesome. Renee, Time, and Eternal Light are all further fun tracks. Conjuring Up Scenes of Summer Fun with friends. You know, it's a great feel good album. I just don't understand why it came out now because it's really impressed me, the project, and it's such a summery album. Why not just drop it in summer?
I don't know, maybe they just wanted it out. I also really liked On Site with JID and Kajit Bonet. I thought she killed her vocals. JID's verse was good, and this track was funky as hell.
Yeah, and then Time with Carl Uchis.
And the late great Mac Miller.
Yes, the late great Mac Miller. They're both really good on it. It's been getting in my head, and it's great hearing Carl Uchis. She's on Bubba as well, which we'll come to, on probably like the best song on that album too. So, there might be a bit of a correlation there.
And we liked Eternal Light already as well.
Yeah.
But I also thought that Oslo, which was like an out-and-out synth funk track.
Yeah, that struck me. That was a weird one. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with it because it's really unique on the project, and it's so out there and just it's really loud and interesting. But it also with the synth funk, I don't know, it strikes me as a bit cheesy almost.
Yeah, I hated the vocals.
Yeah, because it just reminded me of a bad Daft Punk impression. Yeah, the vocals didn't do it for me.
The rest of the songs I thought were meh, except I thought the closer with the Griselda guys on it made absolutely no sense.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And the West Side Guns verse in particular made me cringe.
Were there any lines which stuck out to you?
It was something like, "When you let me nut on your face, I knew you were the one."
Oh, for God's sake! Oh yeah, and it's weird that it ends on like pretty much a hip hop track, and it feels like dark. It feels quite a bit darker in tone to the rest of the songs on this as well. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on with that one.
I know that certainly Benny and West Side Gun have worked with Anderson .Paak before, but for me it didn't make any sense with the rest of the album. It all sort of it held a vibe. I mean, the genres switched about a bit, but it was all quite groovy.
Yeah.
And there's just this track at the end that didn't make any sense. But overall, I liked it a lot.
Yeah. The only other kind of criticism I have is that I feel like the 2 4-minute long songs on this, they do kind of stand out and they do feel their length. Particularly Beauty and Essex feels like a long track that should have been 2 minutes. I feel 2.5 rather than 4, because it is just the instrumental and chorus again for like an extra minute and a half. It's really unnecessary in my opinion.
I'd just cut out the Unknown Mortal Orchestra.
Wait, what? I had no idea who was on it.
It wasn't Daniel Caesar.
I was mostly paying attention to Daniel Caesar. Well, I'll definitely notice it on the second time. But yeah, it did not need to be 4 minutes long, man. Like, Obituaries I can understand. It's the opener. It's big. It's grand. It's Shafiq Hussein. But, like, Beauty and Essex, man, did not need to be that long. It was just Daniel Caesar being very, very cheeky again with some very raunchy lyrics. I've given it 7 out of 10. I think it's a strong project. And it is really fun to listen to. Don't let the 2 criticisms outweigh the plethora of like pros that we've just talked about. It's some of the strengths of this project. You should definitely listen to it.
There's a lot to like.
There's definitely more to like than to dislike on this. And with that, let's talk about
an album that dropped on the same weekend.
Oh, and one which you've been singing the praise of. I believe it's It's converted you to Judaism as well.
Oh no, this didn't drop on the same weekend. I thought we were going into Baba. Sorry.
Oh no, my bad. Okay.
This came out a bit afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
It came out on the first day of Hanukkah, actually.
That makes sense. That makes sense. It dropped. It's his third album of 2019. You know, that's impressive.
He dropped more albums than most trap artists.
Yeah.
I think only Lil B got more than him.
I was gonna say, did he drop as many as Lil B? Yeah.
He's already off the mark for this year, by the way.
Wait, what?
With a 7 3/4 hour mixtape.
Nah, no.
But anyway, you're on Droog, who has been calling Anthony Fantano a clown on Twitter recently.
Oh, is that because of the controversy?
No, it's because he cried when he listened to the new Mac Miller song.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, jewellery.
I see he's a bit insensitive.
It is, but he hates him, so what can you do?
Yeah. Also, Droog doesn't strike me as the most sensitive person. Yeah, so it carries on his retro aesthetic and vibe with these great
bizarrely prolific year.
Yeah. I don't think he has that many projects prior to this year. Anyway,
we didn't talk about Transportation because it was not that good.
No.
But it wasn't even close. And I think this is sort of a similar level.
Yeah.
I like that Quelle Chris produced a lot of this, mainly the heavy ones like Jutang. And some of the ones in the middle. But for me, BD is definitely the standout track.
Which one?
BDE with Doom, MF Doom, and Mac Homie.
Yeah, no, I like that one. My standout track was Generations, man. I'm not a fan of the more like bombastic, like heavier tracks like Jutang.
I love Jutang.
Nah, man, it just doesn't do
it. Fire was funny.
I like Dark Diamonds, but Generations is just almost a grandiose track with this story running through it at its heart. I really liked it, and I really like the jazzy sample on that and on Stupid Kid as well. With a very nice feature from the God Fame. What's so good about BDE? Why'd you like it?
I love the instrumental.
Yeah.
Or the whole video where it's just this like bar mitzvah style gathering, and then it's got Doom and Mac Homie there.
Oh yeah.
Like kissing hands and cheeks.
Can we get we should get that on the screen. Let's have everyone see it.
And then you got all the imagery of like having the Star of David on his business suit and pulling up to Passover with a solid gold dreidel.
Oh yeah.
And of course, the infamous line, "Your incels like a SIM card." And then you got Mac Homie's verse was so good as well, and he's on a good. I think he's on like half of the songs.
Yeah, he's on a good.
I don't know. I liked that the album opens with him singing in Hebrew.
Yes, I really like that.
It was like a call to prayer.
Yeah, I really like that.
Gives a good verse as well, and then there's that little sample at the end about how the industry was better off with a bunch of money-hungry people rather than these sort of hip young guys that think they know what people.
Yeah, I heard that part, which is interesting. I kind of, I guess I wasn't paying attention. I got the other thing, but yeah, that what you were saying about the opener. I really loved the opener, especially with that Hebrew singing. It kind of reminded me of the Freddie Gibbs Alchemist project. I've forgotten who else was on
Currency.
it. Yeah. It reminded me of the opener's Currency, man. Which I really liked. If we go back and watch that episode, yeah, it's there's. I love the kind of funkiness and overall vibe of the title track, Julie. jewelry, and especially the pitched up singing on the chorus, which is it's fun, you know. And then there's the closer "Do Tang Forever" is very fun as well. There's it seems I don't think I got the point that Droog was trying to make about religion on it. I don't know if you feel you can
Well,
shed some
it was a recurring theme, and
yeah.
by the name you could say it was the concept, but I don't think it appears enough
No, and it
to
seems
call it the concept necessarily.
no, it seems more like it's just a flavor for the album rather than if he's actually like tackling faith on any level or trying to process it or deal with it. There's
But they did say on one of the tracks that it was that he wasn't gonna make any more music, and then he got the motive to, and then it just had Matt Comey saying you're Jewish. I don't know what happened there, but
yeah, and
I
then
just think a bit like a lot of his stuff, it just falls apart in the second half.
yeah, definitely, definitely. It's I feel like it just needs a strong concept because his so take the song Generations for example. That is it's a story about like this boyfriend girlfriend or husband and wife or something, and like it's just a story about the man getting shot, and she comes just in time to see him die, or like the EMT says that he's dead, and it's just it's a pretty sad story, but that has a concept and a theme running through it, and it's that's like a really well put together song,
The same with
whereas some of the
but
other
I
songs
didn't like the other one about the dream. These Jewish people giving you whatever you want.
I don't even get that, man. I feel like the instrumentals steal the show a lot of the time from Droog. In my honest opinion, I pay more attention to I found myself paying more attention to the instrumentals than to what he's actually saying. But that could be just me.
So give Quelle Chris a hand then.
Yeah, yeah, you got it because some of the I think this has some of his catchiest beats that he's rapped over. I think that a lot of the beats are better than those on It Wasn't Even Close. And I think it's a good album. It is a good album. But definitely the beats steal the show, and they do compliment Droog's gruff delivery and set it apart for the crowd. But it does just feel a bit scattered. It doesn't feel too focused. And when you were talking about it, I just got my hopes up for it to be this kind of exploration of faith and what it is to be. I guess what it is to be like a Jewish in the rap game or something. I don't know, or just Jewish in general. Like I was expecting something more, and I don't. That's not what this is. So maybe shame on me for going in there with like the wrong idea. You know, expecting something of the album which I wasn't gonna get. But you know, I still think yeah, it's a bit unfocused.
But I like that he's repping for the Jewish culture.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just love BDE.
Does it stand for anything?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, and
I
I just looked at his discography. He'd released 2 albums before this year.
what the hell? What the hell?
Pax
Why
is
was
good
Last
though. I would
Dance
listen to
good?
Pax.
Why such I don't
It's
know.
got Danny Brown on it.
It
And
seems like he's just like come out of nowhere.
well,
Kind
everyone thought he was Nas when he first came out. It was like releasing under a new name.
of. Really? It doesn't sound like Nas.
Mm,
I
I
don't
didn't
think
say it.
so.
I never
Nah.
said it.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. And all right, let's talk about the other
Next
album
time,
that came
make
on.
a full Jewish album
Yes, that's what I want. I want a
and get
Jewish rap.
Orthodox Jew hair.
Oh, yeah, and just
Or a
get
Jew
some
fro.
rabbis on there, spin some bars.
More
Yeah,
Hebrew,
I'll
more
listen to that.
Hebrew, more
Yeah,
Maccabees in Hebrew as well.
yeah, that's what I want.
By the way, you can
Yeah.
pick up this album on Bandcamp on vinyl for $70.
Oh my God, what the hell? Oh, and how much wasn't Wapcon Josh, the Matt Comey EP is like $230 on vinyl.
No, it was only
So
187.
oh, sorry, my bad. Only 187. Yeah, that's
Let's move
I
on.
reckon they're gonna go up in value because these are underground guys, you know. It's like when they stop, they'll stop, and there's gonna be more demand for their stuff. Yes. Okay, let's move on. Bubba, it's a great album, and it's KAYTRANADA, baby. It's a whole house album. He's coming
He
at you
said,
with it.
shout out to all the producers that make their own albums. Hell yes.
Hell yes. And it's dope. He's been dropping some housey singles and EPs for the past year. Um, Changes, or there was an EP he did, which was Changes, I think. And then there was a single, which had this really fat bass line, these two women singing over it. That was great. And now, like, he's dropped a whole album of these housey. Oh, they are pretty much just house tracks. It's great.
And
It's
none of them
very
are, and they're all brand new. None of those released.
yeah, no, none of them were singles. Like, it's just it's pretty amazing. It's such a treat for the end of the year. I kind of wish it had come
10%
out.
was a single.
Was it?
Mm.
I mean, that makes sense. It's like it's the most catchy song on it, but like every single track is really well polished. I think the sequencing between tracks is really nice as well. At times, it's almost like listening to a set. Not quite because it's not a set, but you know, it's like it, and it is really nice. The bass lines on it are just, oh man, they're very full, they're very thick, they're very sexy, and the keys on like To The Music, for instance, are just pretty bitchin', man. It's great. There's all the bass lines are great. All like the other instruments he uses are great. There's these great like bits where he just fades in, fades out, and it's just like listening to like a real set. It's great. I love how many people were involved in this project as well. It's
And I loved
kind
his
of like
live set
national.
when I watched
You
it.
loved his who?
When we saw him, me and Connor.
Ah, what the hell? Was that a love box?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's
I
cool,
thought
man.
the only weak transition was actually in the first song. Like, Do It. There was 2 seconds of, like, drums.
No, I really like that. I really like that.
I
At the
thought it was an
start.
error, but it hasn't been changed.
No. It's deliberate. I really like it.
That sucks.
It's just like a weird thing at the start. And then it comes in. Oh my god, yeah. And then it closes with those kind of drums as well. And goes into To The Music, right? It feels like a real passion project from him, especially with him having dropped these singles for the like quite a while, and now it's just a whole album full of them.
Well, it feels like he's the only producer that makes music for himself.
Yeah, I think that's a great way of putting it. He's definitely
Him and Kanye.
yeah. It's like yes, yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's a really nice way of putting it actually. It's obviously he likes making it because he's been dropping a load of singles to like I guess test the water, see if people would dig it. Because it is different to his previous album, which has been more kind of hip hop oriented. This is it's just house music. It's well, not like house. It's more like lo-fi house, I guess, in a way. And
But his music always has a bounce to it and always has good bass lines.
yeah.
And the way his tracks always progress, like the bass lines change. So I think that's what makes all the transitions much easier.
Yeah. There are tracks on here that I like keep coming back to, you know. To name a few, Grey Area with Mick Jenkins, 10%.
That's my favourite song.
Carl Uchis. Got Puffler as well. Need It, September 21. That closer, midsection with Pharrell. I've listened to midsection so many times. I love it.
I love that he was on there because he had like a clip on his last album of Pharrell being interviewed and he said, "Oh, KAYTRANADA, he's dope."
That's cool. That's
No,
so
he's
cool.
here. I also love the Go DJ with
Yes,
Sir. I thought
yes,
that it was like a club anthem, but it also had this kind of weird delay in the beat that made it even better.
yeah, definitely.
And
Everyone speaks about
Vexo
AK.
with Ari Penn-Smith and Gold Link was hard as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Gold Link,
Goldlink's
Gold Link,
flow worked really well over it, I
yeah,
thought.
he loves house, sort of
Mm,
hip house is his thing, so like
yeah,
these kind of beats are perfect for him.
yeah. It was really, really good over it.
To say again, The Worst in Me was another great track.
Yes.
Marche.
I can hear them all now. I can hear them, man. That's a good album. That's a good album when that happens. Um, and I love it. It's weird that like such a good album is like I feel like that there is a bit of a what's the word? Uh, I feel like people would judge this kind of music as not being up to the same standard as like the best hip hop albums or like a great rock concept album or something. And but I think this is definitely well deserving of the praise that it's received. You know, it's deserving of more praise. I want to hear it in clubs. Like I don't understand. If I don't, I will actually be disappointed because
Well,
this
I
is
can confirm that his shit's incredibly danceable, and that was before this even came out. So now he's gonna have even more stuff in his repertoire.
yeah, definitely.
But when he had his own show in London, it sold out in like a few minutes because another mate of mine wanted to go, and
Yeah.
he couldn't get tickets. Man, that shit was crazy.
Mm.
His music's so good.
Mm.
To say again, it's like a lot of producer albums are sort of leftovers that they made of other people that they didn't want. This stuff seems like he gives out the odd beat here and there, but his you don't see his production that much. It's
No,
more
you don't.
more for his own like EPs and albums. Like this is his second album,
Yeah.
and I love that he has two pupils.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a good album, in my opinion. Like, do not sleep on this, people. Definitely. This is, as you couldn't have put it better, man. It is so danceable. It makes you want to move.
So
I'm
from
giving it a
he was
9 out of 10.
yeah, I would not. I think I'd give it a strong 8. I'm not sure if it's
Yeah.
quite 9 category, but I love this a lot.
Yeah. It was,
And
no, go on.
and while there's not enough stuff to groove to in January, I'll certainly keep playing this.
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna put it on at Prees and I'm gonna take it to the club. I'm gonna push the DJ out of his booth. And I'm gonna plug
And then put
my
Go
phone.
DJ on.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go DJ on. Perhaps a 9 is might be a bit too much. That might be revised later, but for
Yeah.
now, I just think it is such a strong project. Strong 8 to 9 is good, man. It's great, and the floor is yours, Tom. Sing the
I just
praises of JME.
remember seeing it in the like it was coming out on my break at work one time. I was just so happy. I gasped out loud, and everyone was like, "What? What is it?" And then no one even knew KAYTRANADA was. But anyway,
Mm,
damn, this shit was good.
yeah,
Were you leaving the floor for me for Grime
yeah,
MC?
yeah.
Uh-huh. JME's first album since Integrity in 20 was it 16 or 15? I can't
I
remember
do
now.
not know.
I can't remember. And I loved the artwork for that album. It was just his
Yeah,
face.
it's just his face. Yeah. And when we saw him at Afropunk, he was just wearing a T-shirt of it. So just like a T-shirt of his face. It's pretty epic.
2015, so yeah, this was his first album in 4 years.
Damn, it's a long hiatus.
But it was worth it. 'Cause I think this is possibly better, if not it's as good, because
Hmm.
I know Skepta's the more popular, because he's Skepta's brother.
Right.
I think he's certainly a better, like, more consistent music artist. But I
Yeah.
think it's like we did Skepta's album earlier, and it was quite patchy. The
Yeah.
interesting thing about this was that it went number one in the UK the week it came out, even though it was only physical copies. It didn't
That's
stream
weird.
at all, and you couldn't buy it on iTunes. So I got the CD. I've been playing it in my car.
Yeah.
I love like the constant the themes and references to stuff like millennials having their priorities all wrong, like being on their phones all the time, filming him, and
You saying is Jeremy a boomer?
no, I just think he lives in the moment.
Oh yeah, no, that's a much better way of putting
He's
it,
not
actually.
stuck in the social media all the time.
Yeah.
He also talks about veganism, being married now, but not as much as Chance the Rapper did on the big day, just to be clear. And also like sort of keeping the UK scene alive, representing grime.
Mm.
It's all pretty
Has he
good.
been doing he's been doing many tours still? Because I'm not sure.
No, I don't think so. But
Mm.
one of the big highlights was a song that he played for us at Afropunk, and that was in 2017. So like it says in the like the album notes that some of these songs are like more than 3 years old. He'd just been
Mm.
waiting for the right time to drop it.
Yeah.
But it's got the classic introspective opener, but then the bangers start coming thick and fast with songs like Pricks, Them Man Are Dead, this one which I think samples like Pokemon battle music.
Oh my God.
It sounds like it anyway. Nang with Skepta, that one's hard as hell. You Watch Me, that was the one that we had at Afropunk, that was a great song.
Yeah.
Batman Walking Through, P Money and Shaq, Knock Your Block Off with Gigs, Ding Ding with President T, and Them Man with Wiley as well. The only problem is it starts to fall apart a little bit in the second half, as grime albums seem to always do, which is so frustrating. When they start to try and sing a bit more, it's like why can't we
Why?
just have a short album of bangers? Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't
if this
understand that. Why?
album was like 13 tracks long, it would have been
No.
great because there
Yeah.
like there's this one of the song right at the end with Ace 45 where they just go back and forth and they just keep giving out these one-liners and it's brilliant. But that's after these like random crooning songs of like
No.
3 or 4 tracks that are just quite hard to listen to be honest.
Yeah.
But I'd still give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's the best grime release of the year,
Hmm.
and I love that he insisted on it being physical copies only. And there was a rumor that it was coming out on streaming services last week, and it never did. And I
Oh my
hope it
God.
never does.
I kind of want to listen to it, is all. Oh well. I'll just have to wait for someone to put it on YouTube.
I'm
Which
sure it's there
it's
already.
probably already up there already. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's very, very, very much worth listening. If you're a Jamie fan, definitely buy it. If you like grime, go and support the man.
Definitely. And it's physical copies, That's pretty cool.
Forever.
Okie dokie. Now from a good kind of a good grime album to a terrible UK drill song.
What?
It's Drake's foray into UK drill, isn't it?
This is his early Christmas present to everyone.
Yeah, yeah. Um, it's a very, very, very strange experience listening to it because Drake puts on a British accent and uses UK slang. UK, like, I guess the kind of slang that you'd hear in that. So he's saying stuff like ends and stuff like
Things.
that. Ting, yeah.
Things.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's just and actually I saw this interview with Stormzy and he made the great point that like I thought similarly to him that the fact that someone as big as Drake, you can't really escape Drake's music and his influence, and he has been influential on bringing other sounds to particularly the US market, kind of was it dancehall kind of stuff he brought to it
Yeah, and he
before?
had and sort of Afrobeat as well, and he had
Yeah.
not Popcan, Wizkid on there at the time.
Hmm.
So he gets accused of being a culture vulture a lot, but he always brings people
I
from
don't
that
think
culture.
I think that's fair. I don't think that's fair.
He always like uses young artists a lot. Like he made songs with Thug when he wasn't as big, Travis Scott, 21
Yeah.
Savage, etc. And on this track, he had AXL Beats produce it, who is like a UK drill producer. So it's not like he just got he got his regular guy 40 to make him a drill beat or anything.
That could be a bit. That would be more culture vulture.
Yeah, I just think he likes listening to new things.
Yeah, it's good that he's exploring it, and it's good that he's actually like, I guess he realizes his influence and kind of using it for, like, I guess good, yeah, just bringing it to the wider market so that you
I
can
just don't like
see
stuff
more
like calling
success.
someone a broski or saying get off road or get out the Enzos or just using
Yeah,
man and tings
it's
and
funny. It's funny. It's
rapping
funny to
about
hear.
being in a Nike sweatsuit. I mean,
Yeah.
cause I'm just looking at the lyrics now, and he also says that him and the Weeknd are good again, which is nice to hear.
I had no idea they had beef.
They fell apart.
Oh,
Fell out a bit when he basically stole Drake basically stole his material.
oh, that's not cool, bro.
No,
No. But yeah, it's actually it's pretty cool this foray into a new scene, which it's not exactly underground, but it's not mainstream. At
well,
least not
I don't think
international.
anyone in America hardly knew that there was a UK drill.
Yeah.
Probably still, when they think of drills, probably Lil Reese and Chief Keef and all those guys.
I mean, I barely know what drill is anyway. So
Although Chief
it's
Keef did a UK drill song.
was which one's better, would you say, if you had to take a hot take?
Ooh, I don't really like either of them that much.
Right. Um,
But Drake, drop the drill tape, man.
wait, there's a tape?
We need a drill tape.
We do need a drill tape. I might listen to that, you know? I might
Like
listen
10,
to it.
10 of these would be fine.
10? No,
It'll make me laugh.
five. Five.
Five, that's the EP. We want a drill tape, man. Feed the streets.
Okay, okay. All right, now we're gonna talk about Solita by Kaliuchis. In case you haven't worked it out, we're both big fans of Kaliuchis, and so
Hopefully an album cycle. Then
yeah,
this is single number one, I hope.
yeah. It's I like the Spanish language parts of it. I'm a big fan of that. She did the only other song of hers that I know off the top of my head where she does speak Spanish on is like Nuestro Planeta, and like as it was very sexy when she did that. It's reggaeton, you know, it's reggaeton track. This
Mm.
it's pretty cool.
The
It's
only thing I
contemporary.
didn't like was that the instrumental was bland as hell.
Kind of, but I think I was still able to appreciate it. You know, it's contemporary and it felt kind of more mature with that. It was kind of more of a there's a bit more of a darker tone to it, and it had a great hook. But definitely, I mean, it's all about showing off Callie, you know, and her harmonies and all the layered voices
Mm.
on the track were really good. Yeah, I definitely hope it's the start of another album cycle because that'd be pretty great.
But
It's a
just on my worry again, I thought that the best thing about Isolation was the production. I thought like she
mm,
constantly picked fire people.
yeah.
Like Thundercat was on there a lot. Ramil from Brockhampton.
Hmm.
So I just hope that they sort of that this won't be a theme because I wouldn't want a whole reggaeton album. I find the sounds really washed out at this point. Everyone's trying to do it.
Yeah.
And even though she's actually from the like an area where that music is meant to be from,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like she does pop and like R&B and soul a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. But it's not bad, you know, it's
No,
not
not
bad.
at all.
And it's a new direction. But I definitely side with you in regards to I would not want an entire project of this. I wouldn't mind if it's a single
But
on
then from the two projects of hers I've listened to, she doesn't stick to one sound ever. So I don't know
no,
why
no.
this would be any different.
Yeah. And all right, with that, let's talk about what the first that. So without a doubt. the best single that came out last year was "I Got Depression" by Zach Fox. I think we're in resounding agreement on that, Tom.
I
Yeah.
still prefer the K version. That's why I didn't put it in my singles list.
I thought it's pretty much the same. There's not much difference
It's
between the
different, and I don't like it.
two. But is Zach Fox producing these now?
I don't think so. No, because I remember him shouting out the guy that produced it. But this is the first one that his first single he's released. It's his third. It's his first one that's not produced by Kenny Beats.
Yeah. And
And it's like a cloud rap song.
yeah, 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 yeah. It has that dreamy cloud rap
Like
instrumental
old
over it.
Lil B and old like Clams Casino style production.
And it's so dumb. I love it. It's great. It's called The Bean Kicked In. And
That's the vibe.
that's the vibe. That's the vibe, man. I'm vibing to this. It vibes with me. It has one of the funniest lines I've heard, where Zach Fox just screams that he wants to have sex with Michelle Obama. Just yeets it, just absolutely goes for it.
I love
And
the free the nipple bit as well.
I love, yeah, that's another great bit. He really stresses that he believes in free the nipple. Um, I think Zach Fox is slowly going insane, if I'm honest. And
Ever since he's been banned from Twitter, he's slowly.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think the bean is really kicked in for him, and this is an absolutely crazy single. It almost reminded me a tiny bit of like, with regards to the kind of cloud rappy dreaminess of it. I got a bit of a Peggy vibe from it, and with Zach Fox screaming like a madman as
Well, yeah,
well.
because it like his verse is all sort of like chill. I
Yeah,
mean, he says a lot of ridiculous stuff as you'd expect, but
yeah,
it's not like. And then when the bean kicks in and he starts shouting that, it goes
yeah,
insane. Like the beat changes,
yeah. It's
and it's just a mad transition.
it is mad. Mad definitely encapsulates it pretty
But
well.
we'll be reviewing at least another verse of his because he's on the new Thundercat album.
Yeah, which is coming out in April, I believe. It's gonna be Gucci Gang when that comes out, and I think that rounds us off. There are some other projects that have come out, so stay tuned for an upcoming episode.
Yes.
If you like death metal, then you're gonna like next week's episode. I've been Tim,
I've been Zach Fox.
and the bean has kicked in.